Daytona at Holly Hill is home to Major League Pickleball's second event of 2023 as we begin the highly anticipated knockout rounds of the tournament. It's a banger of a matchup, a rematch of the Mesa Championship between the defending champs, the LA Mad Drops, and the New York Hustlers. We began with 12 teams and only 6 remain as we begin the quarterfinal rounds right here. You're looking at the bottom portion of the bracket, the Hustlers and the Mad Drops going at it. The winner of this one will take on Ben Johns and the Seattle Pioneers tomorrow in the semifinal rounds. Top of the bracket, St. Louis Shock taking on the New Jersey Fives. That game and match coming your way tonight at 7 p.m. Winner of that one will take on the unbeaten California BLQK Bears. They've won 3 championships in their Major League Pickleball history, and they're looking for one more as we welcome you inside the booth alongside my partners in crime, former top men's pro Adam Stone and pickleball expert Cameron Irwin, top 50 current female pro Cameron Blackwood joining us from the sideline. We got a full house. I'm Michelle McMahon, and plenty of voices coming your way as we bring you the knockout rounds for Major League Pickleball, the second event of 2023. And my goodness, a couple of big storylines injury-wise for both sides. The LA Mad Drops had a sudden injury to start the tournament. Thomas Wilson goes down, so in comes Hunter Johnson with the opportunity from the Challenger League. And then on the other side, the New York Hustlers lost Tyson McGuffin this morning. It was announced that he was out, and so their replacement choice was Brendan Long from Miami in the Challenger League. Cameron, you had a chance to catch up with both sides heading into this quarterfinal round. What did you learn?
Well, I actually talked to Brendan Long, and I said, wow, you go from the Challenger level yesterday all the way to the Premier level this morning. And he goes, yeah, I got a call at about 6:32 a.m. from none other than Rafa Hewett asking if I could get back on the court. I asked him how his legs were feeling because he's played a whole extra day of pickleball as the Challenger level started on Thursday. He said, I'm reared and ready to go. He also finished off the big-time win this morning. He had that final point in the Dream Breaker to get into the knockout rounds. He's playing very well.
That is for Miami. And on the other side, not Miami, rather, from Miami over to the Hustlers, but on the side of the LA Mad Drops, they've had some time to adjust to Hunter Johnson. So what's your perspective from a player angle, Adam, if you're stepping into the lineup now, day 2 for the LA Mad Drops, the defending champs? How do you think he's settled in so far?
I think he's done a great job, and it really is up to the replacement players who's gonna play bigger today. And I was actually in a similar situation as Tyson McGuffin, as I was on an MLP team last year, and I hurt my calf. And I'll tell you what, it is a very difficult decision because, to be honest with you, playing when you're well less than 100% is actually pretty detrimental to the team. So I know it was a tough call for Tyson McGuffin to pull out. He just feels like a replacement would give his team a better chance to win, and I feel for him as it's a tough situation to be in.
So Brendan Long steps in and wins some crucial points, even in the Dream Breaker format, for the Hustlers this morning to help them punch their ticket. They already had a loss during round play, and so they made their way here, had to earn every inch of it from Group C for the Hustlers. Group B, though, was a gauntlet. The LA Mad Drops were far more tested in Daytona Beach than they were in Mesa. How much does that help from a standpoint of being more mentally prepared, getting your way to the championship when you've basically had to face the top teams in the tournament?
Absolutely. Heard multiple people call it the bracket of death, and that definitely holds true with some of the talent and competitors in that group. So absolutely correct, Michelle. If you are playing some lesser competition in the early rounds, you might not need every tool in your toolbox to get that W, but in that Group B, you absolutely needed to bring the pain right from the first ball struck, and I think that will propel them to play better in this elimination round.
For context, sorry, Cameron, for context, the LA Mad Drops didn't even lose a game heading into the championship in Mesa. Much different story here. Continue with your thoughts.
Well, I was just going to say I'll bounce off of that in terms of not losing a game. Well, currently warming up on the court, it's Lacy Schneemann and Anna Bright. I talked to them just prior to this, and they said we haven't been beaten here in Daytona as a women's doubles duo. So look for this team to be just as electric. And if you think all the way back to Mesa, they also picked up the win in that final against that same women's team. So watch out for the women's doubles.
That's a great point by you, Cameron. They were the reason that the LA Mad Drops had to even play an extra game that they hadn't even had to put their second mixed doubles team out the entire tournament. Obviously, that rule has changed now here at Daytona Beach. So as for the women's doubles matchup taking court right now, it's Irina Tereschenko, Catherine Parenteau for the LA Mad Drops squaring off against the unbeaten duo, Anna Bright and Lacy Schneemann. It'll be Tereschenko back to serve to Lacy Schneemann. Rare miss there for Tereschenko. Getting the nerves out early, the quarterfinal rounds. Jitters, perhaps. A delay on the court.
I think Tereschenko is thinking that the camera crew might be a bit distracting on court.
I tell you what, if there's something distracting Irina Tereschenko, she's going to let somebody know. I promise you that.
No mysteries, and we love her for it. We continue play. Catherine Parenteau so quick with her hands, and some good defense on their side as well.
And I'll tell you what, as I was involved in the draft process, I actually thought that Catherine Parenteau was taken too high, and I was very much mistaken. The last couple months have been spectacular from her.
Anna Bright showing up with the backhand, picking apart Tereschenko. For context on Adam's comment, he is a GM for the Heart Eights. Very familiar with the draft process. Miss for Tereschenko, and so an early lead for the Hustlers.
Also important to note, the ball's playing a little bit differently as this is the hottest day to point, so that thing is like mush right now. So that's where some of those contacts right there, those touch plays are going to be challenged. This ball is going to sit on their paddle just a second longer.
Tereschenko lines it up, fires away.
Yeah, caught Anna Bright in the shoulder, and you're definitely right, Cameron. It even sounds different when they hit it. And Mesa, there was a big thud, loud noises, and this one just a little softer.
Tereschenko attacks the line and then goes after Schneemann's backhand.
Well, and to your point, too, about Parenteau and her draft placement, you know, one of the biggest improvements is her overall strength and speed, spending so much time focusing on that part of her game.
Tereschenko sails that one long that time.
Yes, and ladies, I will be the first one to toot my own horn, but I will also admit when I was wrong, and Catherine Parenteau playing big.
Parenteau, one of those players that has put in the extra work in any extra time that she has. Full-time professional pickleball player, hired a trainer, and works diligently in the gym. She's a former Michigan State star tennis player as well. Lacy Schneemann picks one up down the line.
Well, and that's so big from Lacy Schneemann. She's playing the right side. Traditionally, she's a little more comfortable on the left, but when she's got a partner like Anna Bright on the left who can create just about everywhere, you have to watch out for Lacy Schneemann's forehand on the right side up the line.
Tereschenko takes a gift on the Ernie.
Yes, and not that Anna Bright played poorly earlier or to start this match, but right now with how well Schneemann's playing, it's tough to know who was the higher draft pick.
Parenteau finishing off what Tereschenko started. To your point about Parenteau and Anna Bright. Anna Bright went 4th overall in the draft. Parenteau went 5. Hustlers selected Bright in the first round. Anna Bright showing why she was the 4th overall pick.
Yeah, so fun to watch just how compact these counters are from both Lacy Schneemann and Anna Bright. When they get in those hand battles, watch where their arms are traveling to and from.
Goes big on the backhand, just missed the sideline.
Talking to herself a little bit. Questionable decision, as she was several feet from the baseline, and Tereschenko was established at the kitchen. She must have seen something that she liked but couldn't keep it in the court.
Anna Bright sends that ball long, despite being up at the kitchen. Parenteau back to serve to Bright. Tereschenko speeds it up. You know they remember this matchup from Mesa, too, and you have to think the Mad Drops are fired up.
Yeah, and I actually asked Schneemann and Bright, how do you expect this team to come at you? Do you think they're going to change anything differently? And they said it's all going to be about execution at this point.
There's an execution point from Lacy Schneemann, the former USC tennis player on the club team. She was a captain there for a couple of years.
Yeah, and don't let club team fool you. A lot of those big D1 club teams were just players that decided to not play high level of college tennis, and they are very good.
Anna Bright says sorry, she's not. Don't be fooled. She tags Irina Tereschenko, repaying the favor from a couple of points ago.
Yes, and Irina Tereschenko, not the happiest look on her face after that tag in the shoulder.
Who likes getting tagged? Nobody, but Tereschenko has 5 MLP championships to show for. Just long for Schneemann, and the Mad Drops are the first team to 11, so we will have an end change. So far, what patterning are we picking up on so far in this matchup early? Any themes for you?
Well, I just wanted to mention, as Cameron talked about the heat and the ball, often we will see some of the women's matches with extended rallies and some difficulty putting the ball away. That has spread to a lot of the different matchups, and we've seen a few of those points early on where the team back scrambling is winning a higher percentage of those points and getting back to the kitchen line, whereas in the cooler conditions or the West Coast conditions, much more difficult to do. So the defense is absolutely important. Keep those points alive, force your opponents to hit a lot of balls, because it is not easy to put away this Durafast 40 out here in Daytona, Florida.
Yeah, the players were talking about that. The ball plays a lot slower here. That doesn't necessarily translate to what you're seeing on the screen, but it is definitely an impact.
I also think it's interesting because you've seen Irina Tereschenko playing on the right side and Catherine Parenteau playing on the left. Traditionally, Catherine on the right when she's playing mixed doubles. So it's fun to see her creating opportunities on the left, especially considering Irina Tereschenko on the left traditionally has a really nice cut. So what is she going to be able to do? What's her role on the right is the big question.
Yeah, and I would label Catherine Parenteau as possibly one of the most versatile players out there, not just with her shot selection and what she can do manipulating the ball, but also which side she plays.
Parenteau goes big down the middle.
And that's a great example of what Adam was just talking about, being able to manipulate the ball. You could see what her wrist was capable of doing. She also went full flamingo, one shot, and redirected that ball.
Lacy Schneemann and a come on from her partner. We have a question on whether or not that ball was called in or out, and it was ultimately in. Remember, you have 10 seconds to challenge.
Irina Tereschenko just pulled the crowd if it was in or out.
Smart. It's not on the rule book. That she can't do that anyway. Parenteau goes into the net, so just like that, momentum has turned. Still 1 point down for the New York Hustlers. Anna Bright with the serve to Parenteau. Tereschenko answers that time. I make an argument for Irina Tereschenko getting drafted too low, considering she has the most championships out of anybody here. Taken 20th in the second round. Lacy Schneemann pops it up thanks to Parenteau. Tereschenko with the finish.
Hey, numbers don't lie, Michelle. I mean, championships, hanging banners. Hey. Irina Tereschenko, been in the big spots.
5 times.
In the tennis world and a veteran of the pickleball game. She has been in every spot you can be in this sport.
5 of 6. You want to win a championship, draft Irina. That's what the LA Mad Drops think anyway, and she proves it there with the forehand.
Yeah, coming in hot, Irina Tereschenko, and taking a little pace off. That was a nice 70% or so attack. If she had a full release on that ball, definitely going to sail along from that low position.
Just shy that time, Anna Bright looking to get Lacy Schneemann going, trailing by 2.
Tereschenko having a little bit of a hard time with her drop shots just on that last rally. Looks like they're trying to apply pressure there.
Oh, what a setup from Anna Bright, and Lacy Schneemann was there for the finish.
Yes, and as Cameron mentioned, full flamingo. What that means is that she gets up on her left leg, uses her right leg for counterbalance to reach as far into the kitchen as possible, taking time away from her opponents. Well done, Schneemann.
One put away, the New York Hustlers. Schneemann back to serve, also an aerospace engineer for Boeing, in case you don't know that yet. She's pro and big time job, and she'll take the point.
You just have to love the energy between Bright and Schneemann. I watched them warming up for this match, and they're chirping each other, but also so supportive. It's really fun to see the interaction.
Just shy that time as Schneemann continued to test the dinking point with Tereschenko.
And I will say too, watch the dink location that's coming the direction of Schneemann. They're trying to not push her out too wide because that is where she is most dangerous. I mentioned that forehand. She loves to take it out of the air as well as off the bounce. So they're keeping it either right in her midline or on that right toe.
Timeout is called on the floor as the Hustlers take their very first lead of the game. What's being discussed right now on the side of the Mad Drops for Parenteau and Tereschenko to shift the direction back in their favor?
Yes, a lot of it was just a couple loose errors from Irina on especially her forehand dink side. So I don't think any major adjustments, but you just have to understand when that does happen, the Hustlers Hustlers are probably going to continue to go to that well, so they need to figure out a way to be prepared for that and know the Hustlers aren't going to change anything up, having a nice solid run, forcing the timeout from them.
And for Anna Bright and Lacy Schneemann, what's changed on their side to create a little bit of a momentum over there, Cam?
Just like Adam said, some loose errors, and I think those are things that you can start to build off of, right? So I think Lacy Schneemann is doing a really nice job staying steady in the dink rally. We'll see if they move any of the pressure back to Anna Bright now.
Just shy of the net that time. To your point, they began right with Anna Bright on that sequence.
Just looking for a little different pattern.
Miscommunication down the middle, and here come the LA Mad Drops taking back the lead.
Yeah, and they just get there in different ways. Schneemann more volatile, more aggressive, amazing shots, a few more loose errors, and then you have a more solid Anna Bright. Pick your poison.
Tereschenko sends that one into the net. Tie game.
And at times, some of those dinks down the line to Anna Bright even look a little high. It's almost as if they're trying to bait her into speeding up so they can counter.
17-17.
Oh, the defense of Tereschenko, not enough. The Hustlers, too strong at the kitchen.
Yes, yeah, great pressure. You said it. Kitchen line control to a T, textbook stuff from the Hustlers.
Parenteau goes to speed it up, gets denied, and guess what? 2 points away for the Hustlers to seal the deal in game one. And make it game point on the side of the Hustlers. Anna Bright, so fun to watch.
Crazy eyes. She gave Schneemann the crazy eyes. They're out, baby. They're out.
Oh, Anna Bright finds the backside of Parenteau. And here come the New York Hustlers up 1-0 on the defending champs, the LA Mad Drops. How are they able to get it done?
Nobody can beat them. I mean, these ladies are absolutely on fire, and Catherine Parenteau with a great dig to her left. She came back, thought she had an opportunity. Anna Bright says, no, no, no.
Well, and I love the way Anna Bright responded right there. She answered the call. They started to head more her direction. She was even speeding up, expected the counter coming back her way, and was still finishing off plays. A fantastic job by Anna Bright.
Anna Bright has mastered everything that she touches, it seems. Played college tennis at UC Berkeley, ranked as high as number 13 in the country there. Now she's making a clear name for herself here on the professional pickleball circuit. Anna Bright, Lacy Schneemann standing by now with the fourth member of our crew, Cameron Blackwood.
Lacy, you're playing from behind most of the match, but then you started to gain some momentum. What were you seeing on the other side, and what adjustments did you make?
Yeah, we had a little bit of a slow start, which is not usual for us. We actually usually keep the lead for our whole women's doubles game, but you know, that happens every once in a while, and we were able to kind of change our strategy and actually stick to it for the rest of the match and just reduce some of the errors and lock it in.
And we know there's a lot of energy here with the Hustlers, and how important is that in this MLP format?
You know, it's everything. Energy is everything. I want to say thank you to everyone who's here. You know, that last point, you know, I got this extended, you know, frying pan shape. I'm using that edge, and I finished it off right there. And so y'all better get this paddle. Let's go, Hustlers.
There you have it. Hustlers go up 1-0. We're coming right back with men's doubles. Don't go anywhere.
And I said, Saturday, no one's here. Like, are you getting this? So if he wants the invoice.
Water doesn't have to be boring. Turn it up with Circle. With over 40 delicious flavors and a dial that controls your intensity, Circle starts a party for your taste buds. No sugar, no calories, and no artificial flavors. Just good times. Circle, it's your water, your way. Try Circle at drinkcircle.com.
I'm a natural born hustler. Just like my mama said, hard times and the good way, natural born hustler. When the world wants you to sing or swim, I ain't gonna go.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
At From With Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from With Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Back on championship court, we're moments away from the men's doubles matchup. The New York Hustlers traded momentum in game number 1, but ultimately came away with the victory. Schneemann and Anna Bright have yet to lose a game so far here in the tournament. So now we turn to the men's, which interesting storylines on both sides. 2 key injuries on both sides. So let's begin with the Hustlers. Rafa Hewett is an anchor of this team, 2-time MLP champion. He knows a thing or two of what it's like to win a Major League Pickleball championship. His partner was Tyson McGuffin, but in comes Brendan Long from Miami because Tyson McGuffin goes down. You know more on the injury story there, Cameron.
Yeah, Tyson McGuffin has a minor injury, but I love the story of how Brendan Long ended up with this roster. I talked to Rafa Hewett and Brendan, and they said, yeah, the call was made at about 6:30 this morning. Corey Benbasset, the GM for the New York Hustlers, was all a part of this, and Rafa said, I want Brendan Long. They also talked about the difference maker in this morning's matchup versus the SoCal Hard Eights, and Anna Bright, her only response was, be long. Be long, be long, as in Brendan Long. He is the answer to all of their questions. He came up so clutch, and Rafa Hewett is thrilled to play alongside him. I also asked him about the middle ball because that was tested in the men's doubles match this morning, and they said, well, it's a little bit of communication. Some low ones are going to be picked up by one party, and some high ones are going to be finished off by the other, and that would be Rafa Hewett.
So, Adam, you're a GM. I would love to know your insight on why Brendan Long was the obvious choice for the Hustlers. He's, by the way, the man on the far side of your screen if you're watching at home.
Well, number one, it's 2023. So, at the beginning of 2022, Rafa Hewett and Brendan Long actually partnered for several tournaments. So, that has a lot to go into it. I actually played them once with Deckel Bar, and to be honest, we probably should have lost. We were able to get a couple lucky breaks at the end of Game 3 and ended up winning that. But anyway, they're comfortable with each other. Yeah, a little brag.
Brag
and
from the booth. Hey,
yes,
we got to prove notoriety up here.
I've done that twice. I said I'll toot my own horn, but I'll call myself out when I'm wrong. So I just love it that the two fill-ins are head-to-head in this matchup.
Yeah.
So we have Brendan Long on the left with the lefty Rafa Hewett matching up against Hunter Johnson, who's going to be on the right. May the best fill-in win. And I'll tell you right now, Brendan Long was my #1 snub for not getting drafted for the Challenger League. He's quality at mixed, he's quality at men's, and he can play some singles as well. He's a big guy, big reach, and he's been playing pickleball for a while, and his results have really picked up these last handful of months.
And on the side of the Mad Drops, you'll see Wilson on the back of the T-shirt of Hunter Johnson. That's not Thomas Wilson. Don't be confused. That is indeed Hunter Johnson. He is just borrowing the attire of Thomas Wilson, who you'll see sitting on the sideline. And if you're just checking into the tournament now, it was announced before the tournament began that Thomas Wilson would be out. A sudden wrist injury settled in, and so Hunter Johnson was an available pick for them. He settled in. Julian Arnold says he likes playing with him. And obviously, though, this changes the scope of what the championship LA Mad Drops looked like with Hunter Johnson. So what do you think about the partnership of Julian and Hunter?
Well, first off, there's always a first off.
Yes.
You really probably wouldn't be able to know much of a difference between the two. They both have the same hair, the same scruff, and they're nice-looking guys, Thomas Wilson and Hunter Johnson. So, you know, not much difference there. But as I mentioned before in the previous round, Hunter Johnson is looking very comfortable on the right with his two-handed backhand counter and even a couple tricky left-handed ernies from the right side. So that pairs very well with the left-sided offensive domination of Julian Arnold, and I expect this team to be a well-oiled machine out there.
Speaking of Hunter Johnson, he's the server to Rafa Hewett. Catches a net cord, he'll take the bounce.
Well, and he's also got a wicked forehand that you see there on the third shot drive and winner. That's also something else Thomas Wilson shares with him.
Brendan Long answering back. Hands weren't fast enough for that.
Be Long. I mean, my goodness, he just casually took a right step to the middle of the court and hit Hunter Johnson in the belly button. Nice power on the forehand side from Brendan Long.
Arnold speeds it up. Rafa Hewett had the answer, and speculation.
Well, it clipped. What happened is it clipped Brendan Long's paddle, and then Rafa Hewett hit it. Brendan Long right away admitted that is exactly what happened. And it it's very tough to see from the naked eye, and I didn't see it. I just saw the reaction. I just saw the reaction of the players.
You should have just said you saw that.
Okay.
Take some credit. But at least you're honest.
His own horn, but he can't even do that.
That's Adam Stone in the booth. Cameron Irwin, Michelle McMahon, Cameron Blackwood on the sideline. Into the net goes Brendan Long.
And we saw this just a few times this morning in their matchup versus SoCal Heartaches. Just a few opportunities he tried to be a slight overzealous.
That ball sails long, so the Hustlers cut the lead to 2.
Yeah. Not necessarily a big part of Julian Arnold's game with the touch lobs. I would have liked to see him go with the dink to reset the point.
Ooh, Rafa Hewett catches Julian Arnold off guard in the backhand. Not something you see too often where Julian Arnold can't react to a ball.
You just never know what he's going to do, Rafa Hewett. It could be an 11th shot drive. It could be a rip when you don't expect it. It could be a soft shot when you do expect it. So Rafa Hewett definitely keeping his opponents off balance with some of his ground strokes and power shots from random parts of the court.
Oh, Brendan Long goes big with the backhand flick.
And that's just Beautiful point construction right there from Brendan Long. Sticking in the cross-court deep battle. Julian Arnold even tries to go inside out, and Brendan Long with a solid speed up.
Just shy that time, though. So Haley Mad Drops back on top by 2. By the way, Mad Drops Drew Brees' team. Zubin Mehta, one of the owners, is the GM, sitting nearby the bench. Julian Arnold getting feisty. Doesn't take long for him to get going, or much.
Yeah, I tell you what. And some communication between the Hustlers. Brendan Long and Rafa Hewett talking to each other after that point, trying to figure out that middle situation.
Another miss for Brendan Long. So Arnold and Johnson finding momentum.
I was just going to say, when Julian first started playing, you just dinked it to him 3 times and you won the point. Not the case anymore. He has really cleaned up some of his soft stuff.
Arnold goes big down the middle. The Hustlers take the point in the serve. They are owned by LeBron James. You may have heard that news. Kevin Love, Draymond Green. Battle of Drew Brees and the NBA boys. See who comes out on top. A couple of legends on both sides.
In talking to Brendan Long prior to this matchup, I asked him, what does he stay focused on? He goes, well, I want big serves and making my thirds. And so far, he's missed about 2 or 3 thirds.
Missed a backhand that time as well. So the Hustlers struggling to find their rhythm. Arnold and Johnson creating a 5-point lead. Hewett misses. A couple of unforced errors now creates the end change. LA Mad Drops first team to 11. Got to point out the obvious. The errors are killing the Hustlers right now.
I mean, and he covered his partner beautifully as Brendan Long goes for the Ernie attempt, retrieved by the Mad Drops, and Rafa Hewett is right there, just mishitting the ball slightly in the middle of the court. And yes, those freebies, this talent, you better watch out. If you give too many of those, it's going to be a big issue.
Adam, I have a question for you, just out of curiosity, because it seems like Brendan Long is looking to attack. He's made a few errors on speed-ups up the line, trying to go after Hunter Johnson. But what is the benefit in terms of not adjusting and maybe dinking up the line, letting Rafa slide over, take a little bit more middle with that left hand, and maybe trying to apply the pressure to Hunter Johnson dinking in that direction?
No, definitely reasonable. But as you mentioned with the drop as well, Cameron, the inside-out forehand drop by Brendan Long is one of his favorites, and his backhand speed up straight ahead at Hunter Johnson. He has missed a few of those, so some days you have it, some days you don't. So I would expect him to try that a few more times, as it's one of his strengths. And if he does make a couple more errors, possibly put it in the back pocket and go with the strategy that you were talking about.
Great points across the board. Arnold with the serve to Long. That speed up for Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, you don't see Brendan Long go scorpion too often. He was crouching down low, loading up on the forehand side, but just too much pace off of the two-hander from Hunter. It was a two-handed forehand block, and you know, he's
unconventional but effective.
He's been using it. I mean, he's been playing. He's been playing a year and a half, and he's doing left-handed Ernies on the right side and two-handed forehand blocks. Nothing even remotely close to that in tennis. So he is adapting to this game very nicely.
Hunter Johnson with a clean winner that time.
Yeah, and that's the second time we've seen that from the forehand of Hunter Johnson. So fun to watch the stroke. That's all the ground strokes from tennis coming on over to the pickleball world.
Some background on Hunter Johnson in a moment. Shy that time, but Hunter Johnson, you guys were talking about the tennis background. He played professional on the ATP Tour with his brother Yates, winning 14 pro doubles titles. That's a good catch by Rafa Hewett.
Yeah, crazy speed up from Julian. Arnold is Rafa Hewett protecting his Adam's apple.
I thought he made wine.
Involved in the firefight and ends it.
And there it is. That's the exact situation we were talking about. Brendan Long with the initial speed up on the backhand, 3 or 4 solid counter attacks, and a nice job by Hunter Johnson, but Rafa Hewett curling that ball to the left foot of Julian Arnold. Too good.
Rafa Hewett creating the error and finding some momentum on the side of the Hustlers. Crawling back in.
Finding a little more shape, too. Working with a Project One paddle from Adidas.
Rafa Hewett parries the ATP, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see a roundup soon.
Yeah,
it's coming.
How did we not see it right there? That was an incredible two-handed backhand. One of the better two-handed backhand ATP players we have on tour. And, of course, the patented Rafa Hewett setting that paddle on the court, standing straight up.
Just a rancher from Idaho. Cameron mentioned it. His family owns a cattle ranch and a winery in Idaho, Rafa Hewett. And he currently works at Moore's Mill Club in Auburn, Alabama as the director of pickleball. So if you are in the area looking for a pickleball lesson or some wine, hit up Rafa Hewett.
Well, and you mentioned the signature, leaving the paddle up, and I actually talked to him because there's been a lot of conversation about that Adidas paddle. So by the way, there are prototypes being made for the signature paddle for Rafa Hewett. Potentially in the next 3 to 6 months, that signature paddle will be coming out. They are making adjustments. He even showed it to me. He said, Cam, feel the grit on this thing. I'm going to say, definitely had some grit on it. It's a different paddle.
On the one he has right now, it doesn't look gritty.
On the exact one he has right now.
It does not look gritty from the naked eye on camera. That's good to know. She felt it. She knows.
$15-10. Hunter Johnson, so good. When he is sliding to his right to crush a two-handed backhand, phenomenal result for him. But when he's late with the slide and doesn't get there to switch over to the two-handed forehand for the second time and block that into the kitchen, then let the ball go out. A little bit of everything from Hunter. Same guy.
Same guy. And the Hustlers, dangerous team when they get a little steam under them.
11-16.
That was a nice third from Brendan Long. That was something he wanted to do, and he set up his partner beautifully.
No, that's a great point by you. Definitely finding a little bit more touch on that third shot, and that's exactly what you want when you got Rafa Hewett crashing into the net.
Oh, Brendan Long catches. Oh, Julian Arnold looks like he's calling it out.
Yeah, Thomas Wilson said it was good. I can see him on the sideline.
Yeah, I agree. I think Thomas Wilson just overturned his
an honest fellow. We appreciate that.
Well, I think he was asked by his teammates on court as well. I'm not sure he just threw up the good sign. Probably not going to make a call whatsoever, but when they ask, he's got to tell them what he saw.
There it is.
I thought he was in a barking kind of mood. He's done a few of those already, but he let the rounded up go at the right time. And they have worked their way within 2 points. Very nice job by the Hustlers getting back in this match.
Rounded up in slow. If you're wondering what the rounded up is, there it is. There you have it. 2 points away. Oh, from tying up Julian Arnold, though, not going away. Pumping his team for the 3-point lead.
17-14.
From Arnold and Hewett.
That's just a really nice cover by Rafa Hewett. He was even outstretched. That's away from his body on his backhand side. A great counter.
Julian Arnold packs a powerful punch and an Andiamo to follow.
Just letting them know there's two teams that are bringing the energy in this matchup.
That's what Major League Pickleball is all about. A lot of skill and a lot of energy. Both teams have some firecrackers on their side. That time long for Brendan Long, and Arnold and Johnson knocking on the doorstep to even out the series here in game number 2.
Yeah, I thought they might take a timeout, but they decide to continue play.
They would. Okay, all right. They proved us wrong. No timeout, no problem.
I love the response again. Brendan Long, if it's not exactly the shot or stroke he's looking for, he's missed a few third shot drops in the last 2 points when they've gotten the serve back. However, that backhand is looking awfully nice.
Arnold's going right back to Brendan Long.
Yeah, you can see the difference between the two with the big two-hander from Julian Arnold and Brendan Long almost exclusively using the one. Really good in space from Julian Arnold to create some great power.
Oh, just long for Long, and the LA Mad Drops take game number 2. Looking for a handshake from Rafa Hewett and Brendan Long. They get there. What did you see on the side of Johnson and Arnold?
It was a great job of Hunter Johnson. Maybe the second half of that game, 3 or 4 really nice leaves. And when Brendan Long is reaching into the kitchen with that one-hander, it gets on Hunter quickly. So to be able to clear his body, get out of the way, and let those ones that are going out go was a very nice job by him, as Brendan Long was really bringing the pain on the backhand side.
I feel like you guys just missed the mad drop that you saw Hunter Johnson just do after the final contest.
Yes.
As he dropped down and gave like a full dead bug. That was impressive too.
Yeah, that was very good.
Julian Arnold, the MVP of MLP's 2023 Mesa event. He also has an incredible tennis background. Played college tennis at UCLA. And now his career is taking off in pro pickleball as we check in with Cameron Blackwood standing by with the winners.
Julian, it was a battle of the two fill-ins, both with Brendan and with Hunter here. How much more confident were you in your chemistry over theirs?
I think our chemistry is great. I heard a lot of chirping between them, so but it doesn't really matter, you know. Everyone's great guys. Everyone gets along. You know, it's just it's competition. So I don't think they meant anything by it. But I just know our chemistry is good, and we went out there and fought, and it was a great match. We had a big lead. They fought back like the competitors that they are, and we're out here giving them a show. So that's what me and Rafa do. We bring the energy.
Tied it up 1-1. Hunter, big moment, big match here in the quarterfinals. How did you prepare mentally before stepping on court here tonight?
Yeah, just try to take the momentum up from the last match and just keep the energy. This team's high energy, and happy to be a part of it. I'm going to try this next match to stay, on my feet, but everyone else get off and let's get up and keep the energy going. Let's go.
There you have it. Mad Drops tied up 1-1. We're heading into mixed doubles right after this. Don't go anywhere.
I was like, get off.
Major League Pickleball is brought to you by Margaritaville, Aura Organic, Knock Around, Pro XR, Skechers, and Michelob Ultra.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Oro Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
Dulce Vita. You are what you drink.
Oh my good Lord, what a feeling. All of this joy I've been stealing. We all need someone that can make us believe. So call me a man on a mission. I'm guilty by my own admission. Locked up but I break free. No chains could ever take me. Can't stop, won't stop, don't stop now.
At From with Pickleball, we believe in the power of our sport to unite a community. We have introduced hundreds of people to pickleball by funding a 10-court public facility in our hometown with leagues and lessons to make everyone feel valued. We take that same approach to our business with personalized customer service and same-day shipping from our huge inventory. When you order from with Pickleball, you're supporting a small business and a diverse community of pickleball fanatics. We have the gear you need and the service you can trust.
We're back on championship court as we await the first mixed doubles matchup. It's been as close as we would expect in the rematch from the MLP Mesa championship round. The New York Hustlers were the home team, which means the LA Mad Drops had to place their mixed doubles team out first, to which the LA Mad Drops will obviously put their team out first. The Hustlers get to respond with what they feel is a more fortuitous matchup. They have Tyson McGuffin, who is injured on the sideline, instructing his teammates on how to move forward against Irina Tereschenko and Hunter Johnson. So it looks like it's going to be the duo of Rafa Hewett and Lacy Schneemann.
And this is actually different than what they did in the morning matchup versus the SoCal Hard Eights. It was Lacy and Rafa that played second, not first, as this team traditionally plays alongside one another, so they're keeping that intact.
From the championship round, Hewett and Schneemann dropped their mixed doubles match to Wilson and Tereschenko, a new-looking team on the side of the Mad Drops. Let's get it started.
Nice drop from Hunter, forcing Lacy Schneemann into a little bit of a bait. She thought she had an opportunity to be aggressive, but that ball was tumbling quickly and ended up putting that forehand into the net.
Rafa Hewett, so powerful on the overhead swing.
Yeah, just
doesn't lack power.
Does not lack power, and you gotta love too just making sure that ball is well inbounds and creating some extra pressure.
Rafa Hewett snipes the middle of the court.
Yes, and that is the spot that I've seen from Irina Tereschenko throughout the day, is an occasional high dink on the forehand side. She almost bails herself out on that particular point like she did quite a bit earlier in the day. They got to get those dinks down.
Oh, firefight. Tereschenko tags Schneemann to tie it up.
That was a spicy firefight, and I even think that last ball was going to go out, but Schneemann couldn't get out of the way. She got tagged in the hip. I mean, that was 10, 12 shots with full swings from all four players. One of the best firefights we've seen today.
Tereschenko finds floor, earning the point and the serve.
Well, and this is where there could be space found because you have Rafa Hewett, who's a lefty, shifting so far into the middle and beyond it. There could be plenty of space on that backside. A nice shot from Irina Tereschenko.
And the 5-time Major League Pickleball champ takes it to her former teammate, Rafa Hewett.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, Cameron, that is a situation that will happen, opening that space to the backside of Rafa Hewett, but at the same time, him having that lefty forehand in the middle really protects Schneemann's backhand, who can step to her left and hit forehand. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for the team.
Schneemann goes for the body of Hunter Johnson, sails it long.
Yeah, pretty ambitious decision from Lacy Schneemann, not only going cross court, but at the mail from a low position. She didn't check a lot of boxes to allow you to be aggressive with that shot.
If it would have worked, though.
Yeah, if it would have worked. Spectacular.
She would have looked like a genius.
She would have been a gosh darn champion if it worked.
Oh, Rafa Hewett with the snag on the backhand.
Well, and that's a great middle cover. And it's interesting, too, because we've talked about the situation, the lefty-righty on the side of the New York Hustlers. That middle shifts, right? And so you can see the LA Mad Drops trying to attack the middle, but Schneemann takes a nice step to her right and closes.
Not that time. The Mad Drops not going anywhere.
Yeah, crisp first volley from the Drops after a pretty solid drive.
Drive a little high from Hunter Johnson there.
Yeah, allowing Rafa Hewett to get down. Complete tomahawk with that two-handed backhand down at the feet with pace. One or the other, Irina had a chance. No chance when he's got both of those working in his favor.
Tie game on championship court. 61% of the premier level matchups have gone to a dream breaker. Wouldn't be surprised if we see one here as Rafa Hewett keeps Tereschenko to the baseline to tie it up. Rafa Hewett, the two-time champ.
Man, I'll tell you what, he rips shots from the midcourt that he probably shouldn't. He hits his forehand behind his body on his left hip, and he just comes out smelling roses. What a skill set for Rafa Hewett.
He's an unconventional guy.
That's exactly right. Guys, do not try this at home. He is special. He can pull it off. I promise you cannot.
That looked like a challengeable ball, but the Hustlers let it go. So the Mad Drops tie it up. Ball doesn't lie. I don't know. That one looked a little bit into me a point ago, but Lacy Schneemann.
I thought you were talking about the last one.
I know, me too.
I was like, check your eyes there, partner.
Yeah. Do need to get an eye exam soon. Personal information. Cool.
A little change there from the LA Mad Drops. You see the missed third from Lacy Schneemann. They had been sending those the direction of Rafa Hewett, trying to keep him at the baseline.
Lacy Schneemann, the 4th round pick for the New York Hustlers, comes up big that time.
First round? Oh, fourth round pick. My bad. I apologize. You would never know if she was first or fourth at this point. She crushed my dreams earlier today, and I'm still a little bitter about it. But I can't be too upset. And you know, someone plays well, they play well, and I'll give her all the congratulations.
what a grab. Irina Tereschenko just lofts it over the head of Lacy Schneemann.
Yeah, and there's been a couple, as Cam mentioned earlier, a couple really nice inside-out backhands from Irina Tereschenko earlier in the day as well. I talked about how a lot of the ladies, when they load up two hands, have trouble on the right side putting it to the middle, and the left side of the court, they really rip through it at the player in front of them. So the fact that she can mix her spots up to the middle and occasionally going all the way to the left side of the court behind Rafa Hewett just shows her versatility with that shot.
Drew Brees' team, the LA Mad Drops, the first team to 11, so we will have an end change. This one has been neck and neck, as close as it gets, trading side outs and points. The Hustlers, 1 point away. What do they need to do to climb back into this matchup?
Well, I know you just saw Hunter Johnson on the screen there, so I'm actually more focused on the LA Mad Drops because one of the elements for them is the play. We talk so much about Brendan Long for the New York Hustlers, but we also need to talk about Hunter Johnson. I talked to Thomas Wilson about what he was capable of, and he said, well, not only are we great friends, but the transition has been quote-unquote seamless for them, creating different opportunities. The two of them together are in great communication from the bench to the court.
Just wide for Rafa Hewett, so the 2-point lead goes to the Mad Drops.
Yeah, in a good position in the middle of the court. I like that from Rafa Hewett. He favors that inside-out forehand, and he just missed that one, but I expect him to continue keeping up the pressure.
What a point. Tough when those get caught in the top of the tape for Rafa Hewett. So Hunter Johnson will take back the serve to Lacy Schneemann.
Yes, you can see Hunter Johnson making the motion of the one-handed topspin attack. That is what his initial inclination was to do. He changed that to go from offensive to defensive, and he paid the price.
Ooh, a third shot drop near perfection for Lacy Schneemann. Couldn't finish the point, though. Tereschenko takes it back to Hewett. What a rip, Hunter Johnson.
Yeah, and that was not a clean winner. That was Lacy Schneemann pulling her paddle back, thinking that ball was going out, and it was nowhere near long. Tereschenko looking for the ferry hop to get that slice over the net. Couldn't convert, though. Tough break, trying to give it the body language.
And they go back, right back to Rafa Hewett in terms of the return, trying to keep him a little bit more neutralized from the baseline. However, he's taken a good shot on the ground stroke.
Oh, Hunter Johnson just backs up Lacy Schneemann. She couldn't get there.
Yeah, I was expecting Rafa Hewett had 3 pretty good backhand rolls where he took some pace off and dropped it over to the forehand of Irina. I was expecting him to be able to get to the kitchen line. He kind of hangs out in the back of the court, and I think it cost his team the point.
Mad Drops creating a more dangerous lead with 4 points up on the New York Hustlers.
And that's about 2 balls for Rafa Hewett just within the last 5 or so, where he's tried to speed up on the backhand side off the bounce, and I don't think he's getting enough pop off the ground and enough air to be able to even create the shape to get over the net.
This is dangerous territory right now for the Hustlers, because in their next, not to look too far ahead, but in their next mixed doubles matchup, they have Catherine Parenteau and Julian Arnold coming up. Anna Bright playing with Brendan Long because Tyson McGuffin is injured. We'll see how this one plays out, but this would be a crucial win for Lacy Schneemann and Rafa Hewett to get if they could pull off the comeback.
Yeah, Anna Bright, Brendan Long, very solid quality team. But you have to, on paper, favor Catherine Parenteau and Julian Arnold in that next matchup. So you're exactly right, Michelle. Big, big first mixed match for the Hustlers.
This is the first of 2 quarterfinal matchups we have on championship court here. The other will be the St. Louis Shock and the New Jersey Fives at 7 p.m. Rafa Hewett could not get a hold of the blistering backhand for Hunter Johnson.
Well, and Johnson just took one out of Rafa Hewitt's page right here. Transition zone, speed up, fearless through the middle.
Tereschenko goes right to the body of Lacy Schneemann.
Yeah, really good spot. And I'll tell you what, it's been a while since I played, but I used to love it when people sped up from the midcourt. But I'm looking at some of these shots, I'm not so sure I would anymore.
Oh boy.
Man down. Big man down.
Blown up from his former partner, Irina Tereschenko and Rafa Hewett. Played together for several Major League Pickleball tournaments and championships. Won a couple together. A familiar duo. Tereschenko to serve to Hewett. Lacy Schneemann, aerospace engineer by day, pro pickleballer by weekend, gets a huge point for the Hustlers, and we've seen this story unfold before. Rally scoring, anything can happen. That ball is long.
You saw the fairy hop work for Schneemann. It didn't work for Tereschenko, but she coaxed that one over somehow.
So the Mad Drops are frozen on 20. Rally scoring continues for the Hustlers. Tough miss for Schneemann. So back goes Irina Tereschenko with game point on her paddle to go up 2-1 on the Hustlers. A high-risk return from Rafa Hewett, ultimately setting up his partner, Lacy Schneemann, on the earning.
And she continues to work just off the edge there. They were practicing that exact play through one of the outer courts just before this matchup.
Trailing by 3.
I'm so impressed with the head-to-head battle between Irina Tereschenko and Lacy Schneemann. Tereschenko's target is tiny, and she's still hitting her spots very well, but the countering and the sliding of Schneemann coming out on top on the last one.
Oh, Hewett into the net that time. So the Mad Drops with another chance to close out in game number 3.
Yeah, tough break off the tape. It's almost as if Schneemann is in permanent Ernie position as she's straddling the corner of the kitchen, just daring Irina to attack her to the forehand side.
Irina Tereschenko tags Rafa Hewett for the win. So the Mad Drops now with a 2-1 game lead on the Hustlers.
Rafa Hewett, he just comes over to the side and steps on the ball, smashes it, and not happy with himself. Couldn't get his body out of the way of that ball. Nice speed up from Irina Tereschenko with the glancing blow off the Hewett chest.
Yeah. All the pressure on Anna Bright and Brendan Long as we check in now with the 4th member of our crew, current top 50 female pro, Cameron Blackwood, standing by with Irina Tereschenko and Hunter Johnson.
Hunter, it was super tight up until the end change. What adjustments did you make to come away with the win?
We were just trying to put balls in play and try to, we got to that point being aggressive. And I was just telling her just to fire away, and it ended up paying off. We got a little tag at the end there, and let's keep this show going. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Heard you at the end over here telling Hunter, pressure, pressure. Where were you looking to apply that?
I don't know. I thought I was just talking to Thomas, so. But yeah, I mean, we're a good driving team. We can poach, so just creating pressure after our third shot, that's what helped us get ahead, and we finally were able to close it out. Let's go, team.
Matchups go up 2-1. We're heading into our next mixed doubles after this. Don't go anywhere.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
Match point, it's all up to me. Nothing can get in my way. And when they ask, what are you gonna do next? I'll say, I'm going.
We're going to Margaritaville! You can go to Margaritaville too. Visit MargaritavilleResorts.com.
Cause I'm a natural born hustler. Just like my mama said, hard times never will be. Natural born hustler. When the world wants you to sing or swim, I ain't gonna do that.
Michelob Ultra, 2.6 carbs and 95 calories.
We are back on Championship Court. It is time for the fourth game and the second mixed doubles matchup between the LA Mad Drops and the New York Hustlers. The Hustlers are in risky territory here, trailing by a game. They must win this game in order to push a Dream Breaker against the Mad Drops. On the left-hand side of your screen, you have Julian Arnold and his partner, Catherine Parenteau, a very proven entity from MLP Mesa. Very talented duo. And on the side of the Hustlers, in the all-black, it'll be Anna Bright and her new partner, as of today, Brendan Long. Typically, Anna Bright plays with Tyson McGuffin. He's obviously out with injury, as we've talked about, all tournament long. So you both have had a chance to see Anna Bright and Brendan Long play together today. How do they work together synergistically compared to her and Tyson McGuffin?
Well, I would say, I'm wondering, I know they haven't played a tournament together, but I wonder how much rec play they play. So both live in South Florida. Now, Anna Bright on the Miami side and Brendan Long on the Gulf side, practicing with those players over there, working with Simone Jargin at a lot of camps and clinics. So I would imagine that they have got together at some point for a couple practice sessions, even though they have not played a tournament together.
Miss third from Catherine Parenteau.
Long will now serve to Arnold.
The reason I love that speed up from Anna Bright, it actually wasn't at full pace. She changed the tempo of her attack, and at times that can create issues for timing on the counters. It was also outstretched. Great location.
goes for the speed up on Parenteau, but the Mav drops.
And we've seen just a few speed ups now by both the Hustlers going to the backside of Julian Arnold. I like that early in a game because they're putting Julian Arnold on notice, saying, hey, we're going to still look to that backside, so make sure you're not taking up too much of the middle.
And another fun fact here, I have no doubt that this alignment has happened multiple times as Catherine Parenteau and Brendan Long live very close to each other. Lots of practice down near in the Naples area for them.
Oh, Julian Arnold too fast.
Yeah, you want to I'm not sure you want to go to that well too many times.
Exactly.
But Cameron is exactly right. It does. Sure, you can get a couple points that way, but it gets Julian out of there. Get him out of the middle where he loves to be.
Julian Arnold goes into the net. What'd you see?
No, pretty solid stuff there. And Brendan Long so close to crossing the plane of the net on that Ernie attempt that he had. But quality point, a little bit of everything there from all four players.
Great location from Catherine Parenteau, just at the feet of Brendan Long. Outstretched, complete control, utilizing that wrist.
Ooh, Long reaches in. Arnold smartly places that ball down the middle.
And you said, Cameron, earlier, his third shot so important for him. I wouldn't say Brendan Long. 1 second after this point. Exactly right. The third shot is so important for him because I would not say his skill set is suited for scrambling in the midcourt, but once he gets to the kitchen line is really where his game shines.
What did you say about the midcourt?
Right, yeah. So we've seen a couple of those there. And I'm the complete opposite. I'm pretty good in the midcourt. I get to the kitchen, I get lit up. So, you know, everyone has their good and their bad qualities.
Shh, don't reveal your secrets, Adam.
It's okay now.
I will say, too, Brendan Long really likes to utilize the Ernie. He's used it multiple times. We saw it in the first matchup of the day as well. He was testing just how far he could jump from the center line across the corner.
Great inside-out drop from Brendan Long. Definitely prefers to go to that spot when he is dropping and really gets some good rotation and topspin on that ball as well.
Hustlers on top by 2. Catherine Parenteau body bagging her practice partner back in Naples, Florida.
Yeah, that was pretty close to the twig and berries there. I hope he's all right.
But again, Catherine Parenteau, so impressive with the speed up. She's unafraid to go at any guy in front of her.
Julian needs that. He needs that energy. Definitely a little flat, a couple loose errors. I need a big andiamo for him to get going.
Had the third, just missed the finish.
Well, and on that point, Adam, I talked to Thomas Wilson, and he is the communicator to the players on the court. He said whenever he's talking to Julian, he has to give him a little something sweet and a little something sour. Give him a jab. He needs the positivity, and then he also needs the come on.
Julian Arnold's sour that time on the backhand finish, playing singles.
Yes, and that's a good point also, Cam. Look how many players they have down there. They have Yates Johnson, they have Athena, they have Lauren Stratman. For them to have a powwow and then have one player deliver that to the other players is an awesome job. Because sometimes information overload. You can get information overload if 4 people are talking to you. So when Thomas Wilson gathers all of that brain power from those 4 or 5 quality players over there and then delivers it, that's the ideal situation.
Well, and that's exactly what they said. I actually went and met with that group that sits just behind the box. They said, how do you handle communication and game planning? And they said, Athena, well, she'll start to see patterns, as does Thomas Wilson, but Thomas is the ultimate authority then going to the players.
Smart. That ball catches Parenteau.
Limbo, matrix move.
Oh.
That was very nice flexibility.
I thought I caught her. Never mind. It goes out of bounds.
Okay, yes, yeah. I was pretty sure it didn't touch her, even though it was very close.
Oh, Brendan Long, he had it.
Yeah, quality ball from Julian Arnold, the situation was very dire for him. And to him to not only get a paddle on the ball, but put it on there with 2 hands and power back to Brendan Long. Nice job by him.
Anna Bright testing the backhand of Julian Arnold's. The nice drop there.
Yeah, and that's right in the in-between zone, right on the kitchen line. It's forcing the indecision by Julian Arnold.
Those are the balls. So we saw a couple at the feet of Brendan Long give him trouble and make mistakes in the midcourt. We've also seen him coming in hot and be a little late getting all the way to the kitchen with some mistakes at the net. So I know he has a great drive and likes to come crashing in after that drive, but I would really like to see Brendan Long and his partner move more to the kitchen line, establish the patterns there, and let Brendan do his thing a little bit closer to his opponents as opposed to further back in the court.
What do you have to do in order, do effectively rather, in order to be able to position yourself accordingly?
Well, mostly it is to not go with the power shots as frequently.
Yep.
So if you take pace off, you can take more real estate forward. When you hit it hard and it's not a very good shot or right where you want to, you can only take a step or 2 in as that ball is getting back on you very quickly.
Yeah, the harder you hit the ball, the quicker it comes back your direction. So that's a great point. So maybe they look to some 3rd shot drops instead of 3rd shot drives.
I like it.
Matt drops the 1-point lead. All the pressure on Anna Bright and Brendan Long to stay alive in this matchup. If the Mad Drops win this game, they punch their ticket to the semifinals against the Seattle Pioneers at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Anna Bright goes aggressive. Doesn't work that time. And what did you think about that choice?
Well, it was working early on. I think that they kind of stopped going there because Julian was getting a better read. And the read was pretty good on that one as well.
Most impressed with the preparedness of Catherine Parenteau on that initial ball. She was well prepped, had the backhand ready to counter with the punch.
Missed that time for Parenteau. So here comes and Brendan Long. Long with the serve to Julian Arnold.
It was funny, too, because Brendan didn't like his decision or his play a couple points ago, and he had some negative self-talk, very positive self-talk after that great backhand. goodness.
Everybody had their hand in the firefight in this one.
I mean, just full swings, full cuts. Not even that far off the kitchen line. Often when you see those full cuts, they're taking several steps back off the kitchen line. The hand speed right now from these players is electric.
14-12.
Brendan Long, pickpockets Julian Arnold on the backhand.
Well, that's a different look for Brendan Long than we have seen. So oftentimes he's been on that backhand side, speeding up with the backhand towards Catherine Parenteau. We haven't seen off the bounce forehand, so nice to know he's got that in the arsenal.
Parenteau's hands have been so good. Oh.
Yeah, I don't know if he hit it as clean as he wanted, but man, it drops right in there. I talked about that earlier. It's so tough when that ball comes at the same eye level off of the sweet spot or not off of the sweet spot. Often you let it go and that one just drops in. Tough break.
Out of desperation.
Yeah,
that ball was gonna bounce.
Yes, there was a lot of angle barely over the net from Julian Arnold, and too low of a position for Brendan Long, especially with Catherine Parenteau's hands in front of him.
Picking up a 4-point lead here on Championship Court.
Look at him just sliding into this to his right. Ball just off the net. My goodness, Julian Arnold, that's definitely an Andiamo.
Man, look at those neck veins.
On the floor.
Yeah.
On the court in the backspace.
Yes.
Just scrambling. Please put it away. That's awesome. So the Mad Drops only 4 points away from punching their ticket to the semifinal round tomorrow morning. What can the Hustlers do, if anything,
well,
to counter the partnership of Arnold?
We have Tyson McGuffin over there really giving the guys and the gals a pump-up speech, letting them know 4-point deficit is nothing in this format. A nice little booty tap there to Brendan Long, and he's got him in a better place because Brendan Long very frustrated with that previous point. You know, a lot of couple bad luck moments in the previous few points, and of course some very quality play from their opponents. You know, when you get both of those, it makes it very difficult.
Finally a miss for the Mad Drops.
Yeah, keep going. It's a good look. I wouldn't call it an easy look, but definitely a ball that Julian usually comes up with. So I would hope that he would stay aggressive, even though he did miss that one.
Here's a look of the committee on the Mad Drop side. Brendan Long finds the opening against Parenteau. How'd he do it?
Well, I think that's all about the spot he chose. Again, Catherine Parenteau sliding so she can counter with that backhand. He found just enough of her midline. He's only got about 2 feet to work with to the sideline.
Oh, Brendan Long dangling the point. First he goes line, and then he deceptively goes cross.
Yeah, it was some slippery deception. He had Julian Arnold cheating a little bit, but either way, manipulating that wrist nicely to put the ball back on the backside of the left foot of Julian Arnold.
Julian Arnold putting some pace behind that one. Back on top by 2 for the Mad Drop.
Yeah, as soon as Brendan Long hit that ball, he goes, watch, watch, watch. So,
watch it.
Yeah, he knew he left
exactly
it.
when it comes off your pedal, just a little too high. Brendan Long just could not handle the hand speed of Julian Arnold.
Yeah, and he throws his hands up. What can you do? He hit 5 incredible shots. Julian Arnold hit 6. Or Julian Arnold and Catherine Parenteau hit 6, and that's just part of the deal. Nice play from Brendan in good hands, but the mad drops. All the momentum right now with a 3-point lead, 19-16, final game.
Oh, Julian Arnold
swatting that on the backhand side with one hand.
Yes, and that was kind of a slap. You don't see that too much from Julian. You see him slap the two-hander, and you see him attacking straight ahead with topspin with the one-hander. To just slap that with one, a little different technique, and man, did it work there.
Catherine Parenteau, how did she get those two back? We don't know, but the intensity written all over Julian Arnold's face the entire game. So the LA Mad Drops punch their ticket to the semifinal round against the Seattle Pioneers. Another feisty matchup coming your way Sunday morning. What did you like the most about the way the Mad Drops were able to construct the victory here on championship court?
Well, I think Brendan Long played great, and I think Anna Bright did as well. It was a high-level match. I don't think, sometimes you get those matches where it's given away. That one was definitely earned, and you just got to give them a lot of credit for sticking with it after the Hustlers just hung in there the whole time. But the 5-point win, great job from the Mad Drops. They deserve it.
Our Cameron Blackwood is with the winners now.
Heading into the semifinals, again, the Mad Drops, it really doesn't matter who's on this team. You guys are so prepared on and off the court. What was the discussion before stepping on here?
No, I think we just brought the energy. I think we were ready. We barely made it to the quarterfinals, and I think we were just super happy to be here, and even happier to make it to the semifinal. My teammates are awesome. They just kept us fired up all the time, and no, it was amazing.
And then this last match, they were keeping you honest on your backhand side there, making sure that you were staying over on your side. But how were you able to counter, and take this match?
Just try to use my strengths, my speed. I'm not the biggest guy, so there's going to be space somewhere, but usually I try to cover as best as I can. They did a great job keeping me honest, but Catherine does an awesome job of setting me up, so sometimes it's just too juicy not to go over there and take it. But couldn't be more proud of the squad. We keep fighting. We might be wounded, but we're not hurt. We got Hunter out here, and he's stepping in marvelously. So let's go, Mad Drops. Here we go.
And Irina, heading into tomorrow, possibly a 6th title for you, but as well as the team. How excited are you?
We're definitely going to enjoy this, this match, and big shout out to the Hustlers for competing really hard. And we're going to decompress. We're going to recover, we're going to watch some film, and we're going to bring the Mad Drop energy tomorrow. Let's go, team.
There you have it. Don't go anywhere. We have one more quarterfinals after this. We'll be right back.